The Cupra Raval is the smallest, cheapest car Cupra has ever built. For a brand built on pricey performance cars, the 2027 Raval is its boldest, most important move yet. Nothing about it was drawn to be ignored. A slim light bar spans the entire rear. Below it sits Cupra's own sharp copper triangle. The name Raval is spelled across the back, taken from a dense working district of central Barcelona. Before you dismiss another cheap electric hatch, subscribe, because this one chases something bigger. Because most buyers in this class simply default to a Renault 5, and Cupra wants to interrupt that habit. And in the metal it works, a compact body pulled tight over a wide track, sitting low and squat. Underneath is Volkswagen's new small electric platform, the same architecture that also underpins the ID Polo and Škoda's E-Pick. So it is a shared effort, but Cupra has stretched and squared its own version to just over 4 meters long. At the top of the range sits the one enthusiasts care about, a hot version wearing the letters VZ. The VZ is the reason this whole car exists, proof that Cupra will not build anything dull. It stands on 19-inch wheels pushed tight into the corners, with almost no overhang at either end. Seen head-on, the family look is obvious, a smaller, angrier Cupra. The matte green paint only sharpens those surfaces. Up front, slim matrix LED headlights frame a closed nose split by sharp triangular teeth. The Raval name appears again low on the nose, a detail lifted from Cupra's concept cars and racing projects. There are no fake vents and no chrome, just body color, black trim, and intent. It is a face designed to look expensive on a car that is anything but. After dark, the front triangle glows red. Its larger battery charges from 10 to 80% in around 24 minutes. Step inside and the story shifts, because the cabin is where a cheap car usually gives itself away. The seats wear a bright acid green weave, a hit of color against gray. And yet the entry Raval starts at close to 25,000 euros, which reframes everything you just heard. For that money, you sit low, held by bolstered seats and a clean console. The driving position is low and serious for a small car. Ahead of you sit two screens, a small digital cluster, and a large central tablet. It is a familiar Volkswagen layout, but Cupra has darkened it in its own copper. The small binnacle keeps things simple: speed, range, and little else. On the wheel sit two satin buttons, one copper, marked with the Cupra logo, and a bolt. The central screen wakes with the logo, and on the better trims, a Sennheiser sound system. The software is the group's newest, far sharper than the laggy systems Cupra shipped a couple of years ago. You still get real navigation and real menus laid out to be read at a glance. Cupra says the whole system updates over the air, so the car should improve while it sits parked. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, mirrored onto a screen big enough to actually use them. Climate lives on a permanent bar, so you are never digging through menus just to cool the cabin. Much of the switchgear is shared across the Volkswagen-group, so it feels familiar and simply works. But the seats tell the real story: deep bucket shells with cutout shoulders, the kind of thing you normally find far higher up the market. They come standard on the hot VZ, and they set the tone. Above your head, an optional glass roof floods the cabin with light and makes the back seats feel far less tight. The detailing is what surprises: contrast stitching, sculpted foam, and a shape borrowed from cars costing triple. In the back, two adults fit, though their knees will sit close on a longer trip. Up front though, space is genuine, and the seat suits tall and short drivers alike. The boot holds 441 liters. The VZ makes 226 horsepower, plus a locking front differential. But its 6.8-second sprint to 62 trails the quicker Alpine A290. So the smart money skips the range topper for the mid-battery car, quick enough and cheaper. Cheap need not mean forgettable, so the Renault 5 is next.